Y'all know I had to break down the breaking news today. If you're a Saints fan, you already know Dennis Allen out, new era in. We're going to unpack it all in today's episode. Let's get to it. Oh man, I've been waiting on this day for like the last year and a half. My reaction feels underwhelming because I've been waiting on it for so long. It's like waiting on something, and when it finally gets there, you don't really know what to do. And that's how I feel today with Dennis Allen being fired. Mickey Loomis and Miss Gail Benson, we gotta personally thank them because they recognized that not only the city and the fans were in an uproar, but the players were in an uproar. I mean, yesterday, Michael Thomas, former NFL player for the New Orleans Saints, was going off on Derek Carr for throwing yet another hospital ball to Chris Olave. I mean, you got Kalen Saunders going off. You got Alvin Kamara saying, hey, confidence is in the players, but maybe confidence isn't in something else. And we all knew what he meant by that. Confidence not being in head coach Dennis Allen. Nobody's buying what he's selling. And he had to go. Now, Dennis Allen, no knock on him. He is a great defensive coordinator, but as a head coach, he wasn't the answer. He never was. I don't think fans ever bought into him. I don't think the city ever embraced him. The only reason the city was even okay with the hire from jump was because he came under the Sean Payton, Drew Brees tree. And I think that's where the New Orleans Saints went wrong. They're trying to stay under the same tree. But that was 15 years of success, and now we need a new era. I think it's time to embrace the new and get rid of the old, and I think that's what the New Orleans Saints are headed towards right now. But they have interim head coach and Darren Rizzi, and you know what he means to the special teams unit, what he's meant to the New Orleans Saints. I mean, the Saints special teams unit has always been spectacular. And he's the main reason behind it. He's a vocal guy. He's a charismatic guy. We see him showing more emotion on the sideline than we have Dennis Allen. I mean, just his press conference today, one word that he mentioned today was accountability, which is something that we did not see when Dennis Allen was head coach. Players were tweeting. Players were doing whatever they wanted to do on the field. The most penalized, I think, version of the New Orleans Saints that we have ever seen, giving up over 100 yards per game, it seemed like, in penalty yards. And players not learning from their mistakes. Paulson Adebo not developing. No player really coming in and developing under Dennis Allen as a head coach. And I think with a coach like Rizzi and a coach of the future, one word that's going to be important, especially when they begin their interviews in the offseason, is accountability. So we need to start looking into college coaches. Let's see what Darren Rizzi does over the rest of the season, how the players respond to him. But I would like to see go get somebody outside of what we've seen under the New Orleans Saints current tree. Aaron Glenn, we know what he does. You know what he's doing in Detroit. I would love to see that. Eric Bieniemy. I would like to see an innovative college coach maybe come in. That's my personal kind of thoughts and opinions about the team right now. I would like to see them give Rizzi a shot at the head coaching position in the offseason, but I definitely want to see what the Saints can bring in for interviews. The New Orleans Saints isn't the most attractive option, especially with their salary cap issues and their lack of talent on the team. But the New Orleans Saints have veteran leaders and a core group that should be able to be competitive in a mid to below average NFC South right now. Now, we have the Atlanta Falcons coming up on Sunday, and that's always a pivotal game, no matter if you just fired your head coach or you're on your way to the Super Bowl, which is what Atlanta Falcons fans seem to think. But honestly, man, like, it just feels like if Darren Rizzi can come in and get a win in the Superdome, the city will be back rejuvenated, and he'll have some stock going into the offseason when he goes for those interviews for the head coaching position. So we're going to see what happens, man. But I just got to thank Miss Gail Benson for firing Dennis Allen, man. She had to listen to the pulse of the city. And I know it's tough. As a New Orleans Saints fans, we did not really expect them to really fire Dennis Allen, because the New Orleans Saints is known as a nice, welcoming organization. Everybody's kind of friends within the management department. And I thought that maybe Dennis Allen wouldn't be fired to the end of the season. But after that loss to the Carolina Panthers, and how Cam Jordan didn't even want to go to the locker room. We knew it was some changes that had to be made for Airline Drive. And I think the New Orleans Saints, man, made the right moves. They've spoken to the city with just this action. They've spoken that they care, that they hear our voice. They hear what the players are saying. And they're not okay with being mediocre. They're not okay with just having a team in the city. They want to compete, and they want to be one of the premier teams in the NFL, which they have been for the last 2 decades. So we're back to hopefully Saints winning football. How long it'll take to get back to winning football, who knows? But the first key is to have players that respond to a coach that has that energy, that represents the team, the veterans, the young players, and most importantly, the city of New Orleans. So on to a new era. Oh man, out with the old, in with the new. And before I go, I'm gonna stay on that same vein and say, out with the old, in with the new. The end of 2024 is coming. We're about less than 2 months away. Holidays are coming up, man. And honestly, I don't know about y'all, but my 2024 was full of highs and lows, man. It feels like as you take 5 steps forward and take 3 steps back, man, there's been successes, there's been challenges, there's been opportunities, but there's also been struggles, it's been loss, it's been disappointment. And in that, I think about something that I heard Jameis Winston, former New Orleans Saints quarterback, say this week, where you're supposed to count it all joy when you face various trials, because in that produces patience. It produces perfect patience, man. And I just embrace it. I love it. I love how gritty this year has been, because I'm going to continue to strive. And I know that through all of this, forget about me. This is to help somebody else. This is going to be me talking to the youth one day. This is going to be me mentoring young kids and young teens and young men such as myself one day. Just trying to get them right and help them understand that this life ain't going to be pretty, but if you work hard, trust, and have faith, it can be beautiful. But thank you guys for watching the show. It's your boy Merv for the breaking news edition of the Black and Gold Hour show. Peace.